Good morning, this is Beaty-Coffey of the Ministry of Uncover No More. I'm going to read a poem to you. Before that, though, you're going to see me. This is like my favorite set of chorale. It's chorale. The name is not even on the back of this plate. And I haven't been able, this is the only piece that I have left. It had beautiful cups and everything, and I haven't been able to find it. So what I'm going to do is eventually someday this bell is going to my Margaret Elizabeth if I don't accidentally break it. Her birthday's in November. I am going to invoke Lazarus. He knows who he is in my life. Who is equally an Archangel Michael. I know that for a fact. He sent me gifts, kind of like the 3 wise men to Jesus. Christ, the baby, kind of like that. So today, I'm Anna the prophetess, because that's my middle name, and that is the person I actually was. That life, Anna the prophetess, who gazed at the child's face. I was that person. More than Mary Magdalene, lots of us play Mary Magdalene or others back there. How many Jesus stories are there, my loves? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I decided today to start being more Wiccan, and since it's my oldest child's birthday, first of all, I broke my fast. I'm finishing my coffee, first cup of coffee, and I'm supposed to take a walk today. So I'm having to determine where to take the walk. I set up this small desk that my Uncle Paul built for homeschoolers in our loft. You can see I've already painted here and actually got some yellow, which will paint the wall. That's easy to cover. And I have T.S. Eliot's Choruses from the Rock with my large new calligraphy practice pad from Walmart here. And I have all the pens and everything. I was witnessed picking out the colors for this work that I'm doing with Choruses from the Rock, written in 1934 by T.S. Eliot, which is the year my father was born, in May. So, do you see all the reasons why the beauty is here? Okay. There are many mothers in the world, but you have only one, and it may not be the woman who pushed you out of her body. It's complicated. You only have one mother who truly loves you. Only one. And I believe generations, millennial and Z to a large degree, have forgotten that. Again, I'm doing a book study through Adrienne Rich's poetry book that I have about the enmity between women, and you're going to break it off yourself, women, because we're the only ones that can, and we need to vote blue. The next few days. We need to do that, or we're going to be looking at a different country. That they like Sharia law, you see. I've been in those churches. So I'm going to light a red candle, and you're going to witness me, okay? And I'm evidently not supposed to quote the book, or no, I'm just supposed to take my time. This is going on my poetry blog. I have a dear family member that is not from my body and from the man who had the children with me. I have a dear family member who enjoys poetry with me. We don't talk about it. We can't talk about anything. Everybody's hates us. I already declared that. Everybody hates us. Everybody hates he and I, except for our real people. And our real people persevered, and some of our real people have to stay at a distance. The attack was so great on he and I because people isolated us and tormented us mentally. And I don't want to remember much of that today, but I want to remind this video who I am. Beaty-Coffey of the ministry of Uncover No More is who I am, and I have a lot of work to do. And isn't that good? Not according to you, it's not. World system. So all I have to do is take a pen. I found it. This is from Earth, Air, Fire, and Water. Let's show the video before I light a candle. Okay, let me show you the credits because I have not gotten this book's credits done yet, written up yet. I've got a lot of artwork to do quietly. So the cover painting and illustrations are by Ramen Wood, which will lovingly be colored by me, as I use this book as one of my guides, one of my spirit guides. So yes, I'm telling you that Scott Cunningham, a man, a Wiccan man, probably Wiccan, he may be another kind of pagan, I don't know, and I don't know if he's alive or gone to the other side, but that's important with the color red. On my daughter, my first child, the one who opened my womb, as it were, in birth, the color red is important. That's why you're going to watch me light a candle. It's only for my family, though. It's all 12 tribes. I have somebody in my life who has us listed in his files somewhere safely. He knows every one of our names. Red, maintaining health, bodily strength, physical energy, sex, passion, courage, protection, and defensive magic. This is the color of the element of fire. I am Aries. Now maybe you can see why I have to be very careful with fire. Do you know my fire testimony is Archangel Enochtera? No, you don't. Oh, I'm sorry. It's easy to see in the news. There were fires in Texas. One of the houses that my uncle built burned down in one of the counties of Texas. Yeah, I have a fire testimony. I'm Archangel Enochtera. I understand all 4 elements. You don't understand the elements, whomever you are. That is not my real family anymore than you understand why some of us keep telling you to stop looking at the screen so much. All right. This is the color of the element of fire. Throughout the world, red is associated with life and death, for this is the color of blood, spilled in both childbirth and injury. And what you've got to understand about a person like me is I can get all my implements of magic, but when it comes to the point of testimony is where I have to start shooting videos and writing, because I know mysteries in flesh that you know not. And I happened to see one of those mysteries yesterday, and he looked just as worn out as I do. So you can go fuck yourself, America, and vote blue, or I am going to get even more lethal than you thought I was before. This is where I appreciate Walmart and see I have Beatty family, Davis Beatty family, from my Uncle Paul's seed, who worked very faithfully at Walmart and had a good living. You are people on social media who look to just hate everybody, and it's spun out into real life. Now, these are votive candles. So this is what I'm going to do. This is not a tea light. So this is a different ministry. I'm going to light it right now. And I will keep lighting it until it's finished, and I will leave it in here, and I will leave this set up in here because I've already set up my art. So until this candle is burned down, and I will end up I see I have half a cup of coffee, so I got to slow down and drink some more coffee. I've already halfway cleaned my bathroom, taken out a lot of trash because today's Monday, and I'm going to have a nice walk, but I've got to make sure that I have the proper socks and everything on at a certain place because it's my daughter's birthday. And I already erupted into tears, and it was upsetting to my partner because I don't know what to do to reach her. But she lives in the States, so there's a few things I can do. And fuck you, America. Red America. Let me burn you in hell with Lucifer just a little bit more. Shall I? I'm going to be extravagant in love with America, as long as you're voting blue and not showing up to Madison Square Garden and making a fool of yourself with a piece of shit that should be dead by now, but they're drugging it up with a whole bunch of whatever so that they can keep using it, and it just loves to be used and to use. See the green candle lighting it? This is for growth. And the Republican Party and all of their associates who showed up at Madison Square Garden, spent all that money, and are shit, pieces of shit, every individual one of them, and collectively. So that's a big beast that's got an injured head, don't you think, Lord? Don't you think, Lord? Yeah, it's a big beast. The book of Revelation. But we're going to focus here. And we're going to do something that people like me to do because they've told me in spirit. Read poetry, Kara. And I haven't posted on my poetry site in like forever and a day. So this is Choruses from the Rock. And number 1. There's 10 poems, so sit back. I'm going to give you portions, then I'm going to link the entire poem with the beautiful calligraphy pages, and you can enjoy it later, the whole thing, if you so choose to discipline yourself to actually read poetry from T.S. Eliot, like I've done. This is 2022. I encountered this verse in 2022. Choruses from the Rock, it looks like. Let me see. Yeah, Stranger Things. I was watching Stranger Things 2022, and I witnessed 9/11 in 2022. I can't show you the front page because I've got some things written there that do not go in the artwork that goes on my blogs. 1. Here's what I heard this time. The lot of man is ceaseless labor, or ceaseless idleness, which is still harder, or irregular labor, which is not pleasant. I have trodden the winepress alone, and I know that it is hard to be really useful, resigning the things that men count for happiness, seeking the good deeds that lead to obscurity, accepting with equal face those that bring ignominy. Ignominy. Guess I need to put that word in since I didn't know how to pronounce it at 58 years old. The applause of all or the love of none. Everything in Madison Square Garden the past day or two is the applause of all or the love of none. All men are ready to invest their money, but most expect dividends. I say to you, make perfect your will. I say, take no thought of the harvest, but only of proper sowing. Now, if that ain't good Bible, I don't know what is. The world turns and the world changes, but one thing does not change. In all of my years, one thing does not change. However you disguise it, this thing does not change. The perpetual struggle of good and evil. Forgetful, you neglect your shrines and churches. The men you are in these times deride what has been done of good. You find explanations to satisfy the rational and enlightened mind. Second, you neglect and belittle the desert. The desert is not remote in southern tropics. The desert is not only around the corner, the desert is squeezed in the tube train next to you. The desert is in the heart of your brother. The good man is the builder. If you build what is good, I will show you the things that are now being done. And some of the things that were long ago done, that you may take heart. Make perfect your will. Let me show you the work of the humble. Listen. This is from 2. And some say, how can we love our neighbor? For love must be made real in act, as desire unites with desired. We have only our labor to give, and our labor is not required. We wait on corners while nothing to bring but the songs we can sing which nobody wants to hear sung, waiting to be flung in the end on a heap less useless. We wait on corners with nothing to bring but the songs we can sing which nobody wants to hear sung, waiting to be flung in the end on a heap less useful than dung. Three, I have given you hands which you turn from worship. I have given you speech for endless palaver. I have given you my law and you set up commissions. I have given you lips to express friendly sentiments. I have given you hearts for reciprocal distrust. 4, there are those who would build the temple and those who prefer that the temple should not be built. In the days of Nehemiah the prophet, ... 5. I haven't done much on this one. And they write innumerable books, being too vain and distracted for silence, seeking everyone after his own elevation and dodging his emptiness. If humility and purity be not in the heart, they are not in the home. And if they are not in the home, they are not in the city. There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the city of God. 6. Do you need to be told that even such modest attainments as you can boast in the way of polite society will hardly survive the faith to which they owe their significance? 7. I said Thanksgiving reset. It's not Thanksgiving yet, nor my third child's birthday, so we're doing good here. Loves of my life. But it seems that something has happened that has never happened before, though we know not just when, or why, or how, or where. Men have left God, in all capitals, not for other gods, they say, but for no God. And this has never happened before. Well, Mr. Eliot, I wish you could come back and actually write poetry. Maybe they'll decide that the king really is here, like I've been telling them for years and years and years, and been destroyed in it, like he told me I would be in the gospel record, but love still remains. I can tell you that he and I know that. All of them that represent the male Jesus Christ to me. And yeah, come back, Eliot. I'm just kidding. I am T.S. Eliot this morning. To those who will listen. 8. There came one who spoke of the shame of Jerusalem. I cursed Israel for the genocide they're committing, and some woman wasn't paying attention and hit the window at my main place of ministry, where my dad's prophetic third house church has been officially set up. We're all submitting one to another there. Oh boy, does everybody hate the word submit. And yeah, everybody needs to own their own shit, America, and vote blue. That's true in democracy. There came one who spoke of the shame of Jerusalem, and the holy places defiled. Peter the hermit, scourging with words, and among his hearers were a few good men, many who were evil, and most who were neither, like all men in all places. You have to make some choices along the way, don't you? So do I. 9. Let us mourn in a private chamber, learning the way of penitence, and then let us learn the joyful communion of saints. I just told you I'm doing both. 10. The worshipers, self-given sacrifice of the snake. Take your way and be ye separate. Be not too curious of good and evil. Seek not to count the future waves of time, but be ye satisfied that you have light enough to take your step and find your footholds. O light invisible, we praise thee, too bright for mortal vision. O greater light, we praise thee for the less, the eastern light our spires touch at morning, the light that slants upon our western doors at evening, the twilight over stagnant pools at bat flight, moonlight and starlight, owl and moth light, glowworm, glow light on a grass blade. O light invisible, we worship thee. And that will be, I applied no color to the last ones. So, yeah, that needs to be blue. And I haven't even pulled out my pencils this morning. I've been so busy. See, I can put aside my autistic side when I need to. Why don't you put away your device when you need to? If you hate poetry, reading and writing, why don't you at least read it and learn to enjoy it instead of playing that game for 10 minutes a day? There's just a suggestion, because I'm a mother and I love you, and it's my daughter's birthday, and I'm tired of all of the infighting and families that I witness and cry about in my rooms, as T.S. Eliot is telling me I would do. I'm not ashamed of my emotions, but I know a whole bunch of people who are ashamed of my emotions because they're ashamed of their own, and so they hold them in, and any therapist will tell you that's what we're not supposed to do, people. That's not what we're not supposed to do. We're not supposed to hold our emotions. Okay? We're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to properly express them, even if that means that your mother has to hear you holler. It's better out than in, and I taught my children that from a very young age. I hope they all are still hearing me, because I seem to remember through looking at pictures how much we love each other, and I will never forget. And that is not only Archangel Enoctera, the really, really, really strict one. That's Gaiatura, who hugs trees. I've sent literally, I've sent a spiritualist who'd been tormented by people, literally, to hug a tree, and she texted with me. She testify, "You're right, Kara, it takes away the pain. Go look at the stars or the clouds in this bright sunny day. And go charge yourself in the sunlight. Charge yourself in the moonlight." I've done that many a times. It's a different aura, but nonetheless, as T.S. Eliot is teaching us, nonetheless, very, very important for us, for healing. And I'm a healer, and as a matter of fact, I need to pay my astrologist because he spontaneously spent time with me and helped me yesterday, because I need to understand myself so that I stop being so hard to deal with to other people, see? And yeah, I found some things out about being a healer. And that's going to be help. That was just my birth chart. I wouldn't let him read my chart yesterday. I'm not ready for that. But I can finish reading my chart, and I'm going to go to one of my primary places today and walk a certain street for a little bit. And I don't feel like doing it, and I don't feel like finishing my bathroom, but vote blue no matter who. And yeah, I better put makeup on today, because it's one of those fucking days. But it's my daughter's birthday, and if there's one fucking thing that you're gonna fucking know that I am fucking going to do on 10 days is set me aside and be there for my child, because we have forgotten the sacrifices of parents in the United States of America. We have forgotten. So I'm going to leave it at 10. Do you hear the train? I do. It heals me every day, because I had the train as a child in Garland, and I have it in Manor. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. This is going to be a lovely blog article. And oh, by the way, people literally witnessed me take, oh, I'm getting bit by an ant. There's ants in our carpet. I got to vacuum tomorrow. People witnessed me doing some things yesterday that I carried here. But one thing I did was put up 2 blogs, and I've testified that on Twitter. And now the world is finding out what my new WordPress blog is. I'll link the article on my T.S. Eliot and Stephen Vincent Benet blog as I redo the choruses from the rock, because you see, I saw the phoenixes and everything. I just added that color. I have not finished coloring For the Love of Goddess and the Lamb. I have not finished coloring this, and that when Kara hasn't finished coloring it, as a prophetess, as a sorceress, as a mysterious person, but also as a broken woman because of what I've been through, like so many of us. See, this is the one that I see, that's where the whole tin needs to go. So I've got some work to do. I commit to you to keep red candles in here and to keep this until I have completed Choruses from the Rock this time. I don't think I'll ever be done with one of this savior of mine, T.S. Eliot. I will always need to read a little bit of him to remind myself that the Christian church, the Protestant church, isn't all bad. Sure does look like it right now. This is Beaty-Coffey of the Ministry of Uncovered No More.